When you have bar soap in your hand taking a shower, you go like this, you don't know which way it's going to pop out. Monthly 10 EMA, monthly 21 EMA. If it breaks below this, it's likely going to spill. It's almost like watching a movie where people are in some type of maze or it's a trap and the walls start coming in and they're saying, oh, how are we going to escape? That's what Bitcoin's going through right now. It will be completely identical to the beginning of a capitulation event. You won't know if it's going to bounce or not, which is the monthly 21 and the weekly 10, plus the master origin line with trading channels. Those two tools combined, I think are going to get price action correct. Huge point of support that's hiding down there that most people aren't talking about. Falls below, it's going to fall out, go way back down. Squeezed by the white line down, and once price gets squeezed into this, it acts as quicksand and it capitulates. See how the white line squeezes price down and goes boom. It doesn't just stop in the middle, folks. We know the direction of the soap bar this time. It's very likely going to go down at this point.
Because this video pieces together the 3 key items that you need to be looking at on Bitcoin price, it's not going to make total sense unless you watch the whole video. Make sure you get all the way through and you're going to get the price right on Bitcoin.
These are the 3 things I'm going to show you right above my head that are going to greatly affect the price of all cryptos. Ready? Your macro tilted range is 1. Master origin line with the trading channel around it. The major EMAs that have been the full-on resistance since the 69K top, which is the monthly 10 is white and the weekly 10, which is red. EMAs. When you mix them all together, it looks like this. It gets a little sloppy. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to break down each of these 3 and learn how to put them together. And if knowing how to set up your master origin line, which is the most important line in all of Bitcoin history, or how to set up your tilted macro trading channel, you can easily just join the Discord community and jump on a live call, turn on your microphone and camera and ask me directly and I'll show it to you live and we'll do it together. You could even share your screen versus mine so I can make sure you've done it right. Links to the Discord in the description section of all my videos. Let's go get this price action. Do you remember what I said from my yesterday video? And let's compare that to what actually happened. What looks like it's going to happen right now is you're going to get a rejection somewhere up around 39,200 or 300, 39.2 or 39.3, and price will come back down to 37,800 in order to potentially bounce. Now let's go see what actually happened. Zooming out, that video was made right here, and in that clip, I said Bitcoin from here is going to come up to this line, either 39.2 or 39.3. Look at where it went. Here's 39.2. Where's 39.3? Right there. Said it's going to come up here, and then it's coming back down to the blue line.
Hit the like button.
And subscribe.
Or else, let's go! I'm going to start off with the origin lines and the trading channel around the master origin line. The master origin line is the solid blue line and the trading channel are the lines around. If price were up here getting ready to jump onto a trampoline and the master origin line is a trampoline, it typically gets a few bounces for either it recovers or in one case from coronavirus of March 2020, on the 3rd attempt, it spilled over. And the key thing to look at right now to determine is this going to spill over is throwing on your weekly 10 EMA. If this weekly 10 EMA crosses the origin line, which it is literally doing, almost as we speak here, that is a squeeze play and it's going to create a capitulation of Bitcoin price and almost all of crypto. However, there could be a saving grace here, which is where the tilted macro range comes into play, because there could be a fake out to the downside, which would be a fake out using these 2 tools that I've just shown you. But a bounce point could happen from the 3rd thing, although as it goes down there to potentially bounce, that moment would still be indistinguishable from the beginning of capitulation. When price is just tanking, you won't know if it's going to bounce. However, it's good to know where it could bounce. And again, right now, per my video yesterday, I think it's more probable Bitcoin and all of crypto, including Luna and everything, Terra Luna, Mana, Matic, Ethereum, all of it. I think everything's getting ready to rush down here within the next 10 to 30 days or so. But in the improbable case that it doesn't, here's what you would also want to look out for. And this video is a continuation from my video yesterday. Now that we know from these 2 tools, weekly 10 exponential moving average, origin line, and trading channel, that this is essentially a death sentence, a fake out to the downside, taking these 2 tools off, I'm going to zoom out to the 8-hour chart here, is that Bitcoin could get saved by bouncing on this last blue line here or wicking below it, similar to what happened in July and in June. That could happen, in which Bitcoin finds itself a base down here closer to 30K, somewhere around 32.4, 32.3, and then finds support and then is able to get back above the weekly 10 EMA, look as though it's capitulating per the first 2 tools, find support, get back above, and then get back above the weekly 10 EMA, which I will draw out. Therefore, I'm going to be extending this red line, and something to this effect could happen. Let me take off the tool that we have on now, the macro tilted range, and put back on the origin lines. This essentially breaks a rule of the origin line. Do you see this? If price were to head down here, it shouldn't be able to bounce here. However, we do have another thing in play, which is the macro tilted range. So it is possible that that happens, but here's the key thing though. On its way down down there, this price action will be the same type of price action. It will be completely identical to the beginning of a capitulation event. You won't know if it's going to bounce or not. But if there is a fake out to the downside, per my origin line and the weekly 10, it's likely going to find some support somewhere around 32K and not capitulate. And I want to be exceptionally clear. I think it's improbable that it would bounce down there should it head down there. And I'm showing you an unlikely scenario, but I want you to be prepared for its possibility. There is one more huge point of support that's hiding down there that most people aren't talking about. I'm getting ready to show you that right now, and let's see how it aligns with the 3 tools that we already have. I'm going to add a 4th super easy one, and I'll show you how to set it up. Let's get it. Turn on your camera and microphone and ask me questions directly in line up to 8 times a week directly to my face. Links to the Discord community in the description section of all my videos. Follow me on Twitter at cosasverdes with the number 2, cosasverdes2. If online communities are not your thing, so you don't have the time to commit, but you want exclusive content above and beyond what I offer on YouTube, click the join button that's right below this video, and another video pop up describing your options to you. This is the monthly 21 exponential moving average. Hopefully you know why this is important. If not, stay tuned, because this is a dire scenario. It could offer support, but going below this, which this happens to align almost exactly with the trading channel of the master origin lines. Therefore, I think these 2 tools that I have up here, EMAs as one tool, which is the monthly 21 and the weekly 10, plus the master origin line with trading channels, those 2 tools combined, I think are going to get price action correct. And what I just showed you with the macro tilted range as a possible support, I think that is the improbable case. I'm showing you the tools that are more likely to get price action right. Should Bitcoin be able to stay above a key level or break below it, then it's going to be bad. This is likely what's going to get it right. And let me show you why this monthly 21 EMA is so important, outside of the fact that it's coming in right at the bottom of this trading channel. And if it falls below, it's going to fall out, go way back down. I'm going to go to the monthly chart, and I'm going to put on what is called the EMA fill, which is created by, the bottom line is the monthly 55 EMA, which gets bear markets capitulation events right. Capitulation events, every single one we've had has come below it. Significant wick between 11 to 17% below the bottom line, monthly 55. And what causes the spill is price getting squeezed. For example, in 2018, after the 20K top, see this white line here? We take off price. Price gets squeezed by the white line down, and once price gets squeezed into this, it acts as quicksand and it capitulates. Right now, look, let me put price back on. See that? See how the white line squeezes price down and goes boom, right as there's no more space? You see that? All right, and we go back in time, going to current price, we are getting a perfect squeeze play to the downside. Squeezes don't have to go up. When you have bar soap in your hand taking a shower, you go like this, you don't know which way it's gonna pop out. Non-prison reference. But because price has been rejected by this white line over and over and over again, it is becoming more and more probable. We know the direction of the soap bar this time. It's very likely going to go down at this point. Extremely likely. And then when we mix on tools like the origin line and how price behaves in the trading channel, that's also agreeing with it's an extremely increased probability of the soap bar squeezing that way. And in my video of Bitcoin analysis from yesterday that I released on Sunday, March 6th, I gave you the specific price paths that Bitcoin would likely take in the event that the improbable happened, in which it doesn't squeeze down. I gave you what it would look like if the soap bar went up instead of down. And if price were to get squeezed down here, it's very likely within a month or 2 go below the weekly 55 EMA on a wick, and that's going to be just under 20K. It doesn't just stop in the middle, folks. That's not how it works. Could it happen for the first time ever? Yeah, but it's not likely. Therefore, large time frames are bearish. Mid-term time frames, exceptionally bearish. Short-term time frames, bearish. We have a heightened probability of which way the soap bar is going to go. And now we know the exact tools we need to be using in order to determine, is it really going to squeeze that way, and to get extra confirmation and to be nimble on our toes if we see price starting to do something else. So let's go review that one more time. Keeping this very basic, you can use the indicator called MTF EMA. You can search for it up here in the indicator section. Look how beautiful this range is right now. Monthly 10 EMA, monthly 21 EMA. If it breaks below this, it's likely going to spill. Could you get a fake out to the downside like this and it returns back to the upper side? Yes. And if that were to happen, where it's going to bounce will be on the 3rd tool I gave you, which was the macro tilted range, and it's going to be around 32K should it fake out like that happen. However, because price has been rejected so many times by this monthly 10, and you now have another extremely powerful EMA coming ever closer to a squeeze play with the master origin line, this red crossing this blue line is extremely bad. That is another thing that's saying this is going to go down. Therefore, when price goes below the monthly 21 EMA and uses it as resistance or just spills, you can say this could be the beginning of capitulation. This really could be it. And also, you can potentially expect a bounce here. Bitcoin could come down here, bounce, go wick below it, get back on top of the yellow line, and try it all over again, get rejected by the weekly 10 EMA, and then capitulate. That could happen as well. Let me extend the weekly 10 EMA, this red line here, I'm going to extend it, something like this, and I will then now extend the monthly 21 EMA to this effect, and I'll make it yellow. It's possible that you can have a quick wick below, but in general, the yellow line, or the monthly 21 EMA, is used as support because this is the range. But instead of price going all the way back up to the monthly 10 way up here, this weekly 10 is going to drive it back down, most likely, if you get a bounce here. You have a range that is starting to compress because the bottom of the range staying the same, but now the weekly 10 is saying, uh-oh, I am now resistance. The monthly 10 way up high, I'm now the resistance. I'm going to force price lower and lower, and once I get to that line, price is just going to squeeze down. It's almost like watching a movie where people are in some type of maze or it's a trap, and the walls start coming in, and they're saying, oh, how are we going to escape? That's what Bitcoin's going through right now. The price of Bitcoin and altcoins is on the verge of getting slaughtered. Could there be one more bounce this week and then the next week? Yeah, possibly. And in this video, I've given you the tools to determine whether that bounce is going to happen or not, so you can see it happening exactly at the points where it's extremely likely to bounce if there's going to be a bounce. And for folks who are new to my channel, I have a bonus for you. You need to click this playlist right here to learn how to set up a chart and or learn basic buy and sell strategies. For folks returning to my channel, click this playlist right here. If you haven't checked out the most important videos I've ever made, they are not time sensitive. You could watch them 3 years from now and they still hold the same value. Click the circle in the middle if you're new. You just got Timified Worldwide. Peace.